How should you build the hidden potential for LR Majin Vegeta? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We have the first ever Saiyan Day LR, and in this video we will be breaking down his best hidden potential. So let's go ahead, let's hop in, and let's take a look at the unit. So, as a LR, they lead pure Saiyans, corroded body mind, or gifted warriors for 200% HP, attack defense 170%, with an additional 50% HP attack defense for characters who also belong on Majin Buu Saga and Uncontrollable Power. They are a tag unit, which means we got two different kits to read off here. While in the Majin Vegeta state, we get Ki 3, attack 300%, defense 200%, and damage reduction rate 18%. He also guards all attacks. With 3 Ki spheres or 3 extreme allies, we get 3 Ki, 180% attack, and an additional super, 180% defense, and 18% damage reduction rate when receiving an attack. With 5 Ki spheres or 4 extreme allies on the team, we get Ki 3, 18% damage reduction rate when receiving an attack, and once only, 180% defense. With 7 Ki spheres or 5 extreme allies, we get Ki 5 and damage reduction rate 18% before attacking. He gets 180% attack when attacking, and when attacking with 18 or more Ki, 300% attack, and chance to perform a critical hit 30%. When receiving an attack from an enemy who has been hit by his super attack, we also get an additional 200% defense. When there's a Majin Buu Saga ally or from the 5th turn, we can exchange with Super Saiyan to Goku. So on the right setups, you can exchange from turn 1. He does have an EX Super that can be activated when he is when it is the first attack in the turn, and it will greatly raise his attack and defense, as well as cause ultimate damage and give him effective against all types, as well as give him a enemy action cancel. Now, again, it has to be the first attack of the turn, and it has to be 24 Ki, and it only has a 60% chance to proc. So we're going to come back to that in a second. When we exchange over with Goku, we get Ki 3, attack defense 250%, damage reduction rate 18%, and chance for evading enemies attack 40%. With 4 Ki spheres or 2 super allies, he gets Ki 3, 180% attack and an additional super attack, 180% defense, and 35% damage reduction rate, and chance of evading enemies attack when receiving an attack. With 6 Ki spheres or 3 super allies, guard attacks, Ki 3, 180% attack, chance of evading enemies attack 10% when receiving an attack. With 8 or more Ki spheres or when 4 superclass allies, Ki 3, 180% attack, 30% crit, and all allies get 20% attack defense with an additional 30 for Majin Buu Saga when attacking. He also gets 300% attack when activating the active skill or attacking with 18 or more Ki, as well as getting an additional 30% chance to perform a critical hit. Now, his active skill can be activated with 3 extreme allies or 3 superclass allies, or from the 4th turn. It will greatly raise his attack, cause ultimate damage, and all attacks become critical hits, changes all Ki spheres to Fizz or Int. So there's a whole lot going on between these two. They are designed to work in tandem based on the team you're running, right? If you're running mostly extreme, you're going to be focusing on Majin Vegeta. If you're running mostly super, you're going to be focusing on Goku. However, you do want to be in Majin Vegeta for a little bit, regardless of the setup, to allow him to stack either through his EX Super or even just his regular stack, so you can build up that Goku active skill regardless of what you're doing, right? Because so you're definitely going to need to play around that in order to take full advantage of that. And because there is a little bit of wonkiness, there is sort of what I'm going to call a correct build, and it really just makes up for what the Majin Vegeta lacks, right? As a Fizz type, you can see that he would naturally want to lean into additional attacks, and you would think as a stacker, even if he's only stacking on the 18 Ki, that he would want to go into that additional attack, which would give him 20 up to 40%. 60% if you fully invested with your skill orbs. However, I don't think that that is the best for him. In fact, I would recommend something a little controversial, if you will, right? I actually recommend going critical hit, and that is mostly for the Majin Vegeta side of the card. You see, when we look at the Majin Vegeta side of the card, the main thing he's lacking is critical hit. All he has is a 30%. Now, what you might say is, well, Celtic, right, on his EX Super, he gets effective against all types. Except you're only going to activate that EX Super if you hit the 24 Ki, and a 60% chance at that, meaning it won't always be consistent. So the one thing you're going to be lacking more often than not is critical hit. Goku, I mean, he doesn't really need it. He's got a base 60, right? Assuming you get all his key spheres or you have his allies. Plus, he's got guaranteed crit on the action skill. So this isn't so much for the Goku as it is for the Majin Vegeta, because realistically, you're going to be spending most of your time until you're ready to go into Goku as Majin Vegeta. You can give up on the critical hit a little bit if you don't feel it's necessary, but I feel with the way these short fights often are, I do think it's probably best to have a little bit of crit on him. All right, because again, with effective against all types, it used to be that you didn't need it because the difference was so negligible between the multipliers for effective against all types versus critical hit. But we're at a point where enemy damage reduction is so high that it actually is a huge difference not having crit versus effective against all types, and you really do see this as of late. So I do recommend having a little bit of crit on him. So again, 15 crit is usually more than enough. That would be fully investing crit into them. You could go higher by giving him the skill orbs, but we'll actually talk about the skill orbs in a second. So as far as his sub choices, right, you can go additionals. I recommend additionals as it would give him a little extra offense and some extra protection post super, but you wouldn't be wrong going dodge either. Either one would probably support him well. He doesn't gain anything extra other than a little bit of extra defense for the additional supers, and he's only going to do a max of 3 anyways. So, you know, it's nothing too crazy, the difference between the two. So I would recommend either one of those. Now, another good build, if you really don't like the full crit build, you could go full dodge. You would get a 15% chance, but then I would still recommend going sub crit, right? That sub crit really going to make a difference on the Majin Vegeta side of things. So on to the skill orbs. He does have, like every unit nowadays, he does have his own special equips that you can get via in-game missions for completing seriously serious battles, and they are a level 9 defense, level 6 defense, and level 6 dodge, level 6 combo, and level 3 attack. All of these are really good. The defense, especially as a stacker, are going to benefit him the most. So I do recommend just going ahead and using those as his base equips, since they will benefit him a lot. However, if you do have any god equips from the Whis events, I do recommend any one that would increase either his base defense plus additional or base defense plus critical hit. Either one of those I think would benefit him the most. Heck, even his personal gold, right? There's nothing, if you're going to invest this crit here, then this gold honestly isn't that bad. It's really the silver, right? And the silver would depend on your build. If you go for the dodge build, then his personal silver is good. But if you go for the crit and additional build, then you probably want one of these to be either additional or crit. In fact, if you could basically do crit offense on the gold and additional defense on the silver, that would be perfect for him. But, you know, those equips are hard to come by, so I still recommend the full build here. I think it'll work out nicely for him based on the limited testing I have done thus far on him. If we decide to change his build, we will update this guide as we utilize Majin Vegeta more in game. But as of right now, with the current testing pre-release that I've done, I would say that this is probably the way to go. You really feel that lack of crit in the Vegeta side. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, how would you build your LR Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku? Again, our recommendation is a full crit build to make up for the lack of crit on the Vegeta side of things. 30% is just too little, and with your effective against all types being locked against the EX Super, you're definitely going to want that crits. Again, your sub can go either dodge or additionals. It's really up to what you want the most. So why don't you go ahead and in the comments let us know which one works best for you. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.